Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Celina Pereira. I love makeup and I'm from Sydney, Australia. Today's video is going to be on this look that you see right here, which is my everyday makeup routine. This is what I do every morning at 6 in the morning to get ready for work. For those of you that don't know, I don't do makeup full-time. I have a full-time job working in an office in my family's company. If my brows were already done, this look would take me about 10 minutes to do. But with my brows, this look takes me about 15 to 20 minutes every single day to do. So yeah, without further ado, you guys, if you want to see how to achieve this look, then please keep on watching. Now, as you can see, you guys, I've already done my brows off of camera. I do have a brow tutorial on my channel. If you want to see that, I will link it down below. Now, I have changed some of the products that I've been using, so if you want to see an updated brow tutorial, then please be sure to leave a comment down below, and I'm totally happy to do it for you guys. Now, I like to always start with prepping my skin, and I do that regardless of whether it's an everyday look or a nighttime look or whatever I'm doing. I like to make sure my skin is really well prepped. Now, during the day, I like to make sure my skin is prepped to kind of combat the sun and also any kind of environmental hazards like pollution and all that kind of stuff. So to start off with, to prime my skin, I always use my DECAY Optical Illusion Primer. This is my absolute favorite primer to fill in the pores. I think it's absolutely amazing. So I just take a little bit of that and I just apply it. Kind of warm it up in my fingers a little bit, and then I just apply it to the areas that I need it. So really for me, it's just in this area here next to my nose. That's where my pores are most visible. And then afterwards, I like to go in and moisturize. So usually I will use the Tarte Drink of H2O moisturizer. I absolutely love this moisturizer. It is a gel formula, so it's great for people that have oily skin. But I find as well for my dry skin, it's fantastic because it's lightweight, especially under makeup. And it just hydrates the skin really nicely. I feel that my skin is drinking water when I apply it, so I love it. It's fantastic. It's my favorite moisturizer ever. So I just apply a bit of that, and I always like to bring it down the neck as well, just to make sure that my neck's really hydrated, and just in case I need to blend foundation down to the neck. Then I like to go in with the KIEHL'S Daily Reviving Concentrate. This is a beautiful oil that I use every single day. This I actually started using because Jamie Genevieve mentioned it, and she uses it every single day as well. So I've really noticed an improvement in my skin. I do have quite a lot of redness in my skin, which you can probably see, but I've really noticed that the complexion of my skin has changed a lot, and especially after I use this, I notice a huge difference. So I just warm that up in my hands, and because it's an oil, you want to make sure that you press it and not rub it into the skin. So I just like to press it into the skin. And whatever is left, I like to just also pat down the neck. Now, it's a bit of a weird order that I do my makeup in for my everyday routine, because there are certain steps that I do to make sure that certain features look their best, if that kind of makes sense. So after I actually do my base, while that oil is sinking into the skin, I'll go through and curl my lashes and apply my first coat of mascara. Now, I don't apply any eye makeup, not even bronzer in the crease. When I do my everyday makeup, I just feel like it looks just a lot more natural. I don't even apply concealer to my eyelids. Again, I think it just looks a lot more natural that way. So I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and apply my first coat of mascara. And I like to pulse the lashes for about 30 seconds on each eye. I feel like it just gets the best curl. The first coat of mascara that I'm going to be using today is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara. Now, the reason that I apply a waterproof mascara first is because think of your lashes a little bit like your hair. So let's say you straighten your hair, when it gets wet, it goes curly. It's the same kind of situation with your lashes. If water touches your lashes, which as your eyes water during the day, that will happen, the curl will start to kind of drop, and that's when your lashes will start to lay flat. So by putting a waterproof mascara on, it kind of seals the lash in place. I always like to just take off the excess, and I just like to start at the root. I'm honestly just focusing this product at the base of the lash. I'm not really taking it too much to the end. Next, I'm going to go in with foundation, and for my everyday routine, because I work in an office and I study and all that kind of stuff, I don't really wear full coverage foundations. Usually I'll use a more light coverage foundation. So lately I've been using the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. I like this one because it has an SPF of 40. The other ones that I really like as well, that I use a ton, are the eCosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream. This one has an SPF of 50. I also really like the MAC Water Weight Foundation. As you can see, I have gone through quite a bit of it. That's kind of what I'm up to there. So I do like this one a lot. But yeah, any foundation that's like lightweight, more watery, a little bit more light coverage, and has an SPF is what I really go for. But today I'm going to use the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. This one is in the shade Fawn. And to apply that, I'm going to use a brush. This is my Morphe M439. And I just kind of go in there like that and just start to tap that over the face. And I just like to tap it on first, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend it out. Now once that's kind of on, I'm just going to go ahead in circular motions and just blend out that foundation. And always take it out to the ears and also down the neck. The foundations also that I really like to use on a day-to-day basis are a little bit more luminous foundations. I mean, I have dry skin anyway, so I like a more luminous foundation compared to a matte foundation. But especially for everyday, where I kind of want it to look a little bit more natural, I want more of a hydrating, luminous finish, or natural satin finish foundation as well. I quite like. I really like cushion foundations because they're really easy. You don't have to worry about pouring product out onto the back of your hand, onto a dish or anything like that. That's kind of my same deal with stick foundations. The reason that I like stick foundations is for the same reason, is because they're just so easy to use. Cushion foundations are great, but to be honest, you're paying a lot for the packaging with a cushion foundation because you don't get a lot of product in. I mean, this one here has half an ounce, where an all foundation has 1 ounce, and you're paying kind of the same amount of money. So you're really paying for the packaging part. Okay, it is what it is. So that has all been blended out now, and as you can see, my skin is still peeking through. A little bit of my redness is still coming through. I've got a little bit of acne scarring down here. So it's not totally fully covered, but I kind of like that for an everyday look because it just kind of evens out my skin tone a little bit, but still lets my skin kind of show underneath that as well. And as we also apply, you know, other products on top, it will sit nicely. Next part I'm going to do is concealer. Now, I like to use 2 concealers for my everyday, as high maintenance as that may be. Now, you guys know that I absolutely love my Tarte Shape Tape concealer, but for my everyday, I find it is a little bit heavy and it looks a bit unnatural compared to everything else on my skin. So the first thing I go in with is, this is the High Coverage Natural Finish Concealer from Sephora, and I'm in the shade Sand. Now, this concealer is pretty much the same as my skin tone. That's why I use it. I use it really just to conceal any big blemishes that I have, and also just to get rid of some of the discoloration under my eyes. I'm going to take this and just apply this just to the under eyes here. And to blend that out, I'm going to use a Morphe G38. Now, usually I'll use the G40 by Morphe, but it's dirty at the moment, so I'm cleaning it. It's actually drying as we speak, but I do switch between this brush and the Morphe G40. I usually get a few brushes that are quite similar for that reason, that if one is dirty, I can use the other one. So the next concealer that I'm going to use on top of that is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This one is in the shade Light. Now, a lot of people take off the sponge. I really don't care for my own personal use. If I'm doing makeup on other people and I use this concealer, I have one that I have taken the sponge off, and basically I just, you put it onto the back of my hand and then use it on the client. But for myself, I really don't care that much. So I'm going to apply this to just all the normal highlighting areas. I feel that applying it into all the other areas is going to help to balance and kind of offset what we've got going on under the eyes as well. I think it looks really unnatural to have the under eyes bright and then everywhere else on the rest of your skin to be just your normal skin tone and have no other highlighting areas. So that's why I kind of do the whole cream highlighting situation for my everyday. So I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with the same brush. I always start off with the chin. Now, I always leave my under eyes to last. Now, when it comes to my under eyes, I like to first blend out the edges and then go in and blend the part closest to my under eye. So I'm first going to blend out this area here, just so it blends in with the rest of my skin. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend out this area all in here. Now, before I go ahead and set that, I'm going to apply a cream highlighter. This one is What's Up by Benefit. This is definitely an old cold favorite. I just take a little bit of that onto my finger like that, and then I just apply it to the cheekbones, and then I use another finger just to blend it out and soften it up. All right, now to set my under eyes and all my highlighted areas, I'm going to go ahead and take my MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in the shade medium. I love this powder because it is really, really light on the skin. Doesn't look overly cakey. And I'm just going to apply that. This is a Morphe E48 brush, and I'm just going to apply that under the eyes first. I'm not going to take that over the highlight. I really just want to keep that just in that area where I've applied that concealer. In the center of the forehead. And I do like to take that just a little bit just over the sides here because I do have a couple of fine lines that like to pick through. So that just helps to kind of set them and stop them from creasing. Over the nose, I really apply quite a generous amount to my nose because especially if I'm wearing sunglasses during the day, I don't want those kind of sunglass lines, which, I mean, you can't avoid them, but you know, we can try. I do like to apply a little bit of powder to the rest of my skin because at work I spend a lot of time on the phone because I work in an office, so I've always got something kind of pressed against my face, so I want to make sure that my makeup isn't going to just totally vanish really quickly. So I like to take the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Dim Light. This one is my favorite shade, and I'm going to use a Morphe E3 brush, and I just apply that to just the rest of my face. And I love this powder because it is super lightweight and almost has not like a highlighted finish. It's not a highlight, but it just gives your skin that bit of luminosity. And I just apply it to the areas where I haven't applied really any powder. It gives this really beautiful illumination to the skin without really looking like a highlighter. It just, I guess, keeps the skin from looking super matte, and that's why I love it. Alright, next for bronzer, I'm going in with my Morphe M527 brush, and I'm going to take from NARS. Now this is their new range of bronzers. I don't know exactly what this collection is called. I will find out and I'll leave it linked down below. But this one is in the shade Laguna, and I just love this bronzer because it's a really good mid-tone shade. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, it's just a really good mid-tone, and it's not too dark for my skin either, so it looks pretty natural. So I just take that on the brush. Now with this I'm going to bronze, I'm not going to contour, so I am taking it in those contour areas, but using a big brush and using big circular motions is going to ensure that you're just bronzing the skin and just bringing a bit of color as opposed to contouring and actually trying to chisel out. So just taking that on the cheeks, on the forehead, just sweep it across the nose to give again a little bit of life under the lip, and also just a little bit under the chin and jawline. Once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and apply blush. This is the MAC Mineralize blush in the shade Warm Soul. It was in my favorites video. I applied it to the apples and kind of blending out to my bronzer. And whatever's left, I like to just go kind of over the nose just to give that kind of very fresh look. So next, before I go ahead and highlight, I'm going to go and do my next coat of mascara. So I like to make sure that the first coat of mascara is totally dry before I go in with my next coat. That's why I applied my mascara so early on. Now the mascara that I've been using lately, Now, the mascara that I've been using lately is by the brand Essence, and it is the I Love Extreme Volume Mascara. This mascara, you guys, I think it's $5.95 if I'm not wrong. I'll leave it down below. You can get it at Priceline. It is absolutely amazing. It is the most affordable mascara that I think I've ever used that I actually really love. So, just like the other one, I like to just rub off the excess and then go ahead and apply it to my lashes. And if you get mascara everywhere, don't worry, I can't apply mascara without getting it everywhere. That's just me, I can't help it. But you can see just like how long they make your natural lashes. Because of this mascara, I have gone so many days without wearing lashes. I mean, during the week I don't wear lashes anyway, but on weekends I've definitely gone days where I haven't worn lashes. Now it can get clumpy easy if you're not careful. That's why I always just remove the excess, because it can get really clumpy and I don't really like clumpy lashes. I prefer for my lashes to be really long and separated and really nice and voluminous. That's how I like my lashes to be. So I'm gonna let this layer dry and we're gonna move on to highlight. Now I like to apply a couple of highlighters because the glow is the glow. Now the brush I'm going to be using for highlighter is the Morphe M510. So my first highlighter that I'm going to use is by Benefit. It's the Dandelion Twinkle. Nikki Tutorials showed me to use it on the forehead, and honestly, it is so beautiful for that. That's what I use it for. And I just apply it to the forehead. It just gives you this really pretty look without being too much. I love a bit of highlight on the forehead, but I also don't want it to be too much, or else I think it can look really, really oily. But you see, it just gives you this really pretty sheen. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now, I've been trying a lot of highlighters lately, and this one, this is from Burberry. This is the Fresh Glow highlighter in the shade Nude Gold, which is number 2. I'm going to apply it just over where we applied that cream base. And I applied the cream base first, obviously, to intensify the highlight. And after you go ahead and apply some setting spray, it really just sinks into the skin so nicely. So also going to take that on the nose, create my little exclamation mark on the nose, the Cupid's bow, and on the chin as well. Now I'm also going to take a little bit of that and just apply it to the inner corner of the eye and the brow bone. Morphe E36 brush. So I just take that into the inner corners of the eyes to the brow bone. It just gives you that little bit of a pop, and I love when my brow bone highlight and my inner corner match with my cheekbone highlight. I think it looks really cool. Next, before I apply my final coat of mascara and do my bottom lashes, I'm going to set my skin. So what I'm going to use today is from Cover FX. It's the Illuminating Setting Spray. So next I'm going to do my final coat of mascara and my lips. They're my last 2 things that I go ahead and do. So again, same mascara. I'm just going to make sure that I clean it off, all the excess, and just go ahead and apply a final coat of mascara. Again, your lash can get really clumpy really quickly, so don't over apply, I guess. And then also going to use this for my bottom lashes. And I can't apply bottom mascara without pulling this through. If your lashes get clumpy, just take a spoolie. This is just the back of a brow pencil, and I just go ahead and just kind of brush them out, going from the top, and then brush it upwards. Now I also always make a mess with my mascara, so I'm just gonna take a Q-tip, just a dry Q-tip, and I'm just going to just take that over any areas where I have a little bit of mascara. So next and last step is lips. Lately I've been loving the Marc Jacobs liquid lip creams. I mentioned this in my last favorites video. The shade Hot Cocoa is my absolute favorite. It is one of the lighter shades, Fawn over me. Now guys, sometimes the last thing that I will do is just apply a little bit of brow gel. This one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's her clear brow gel, and sometimes I'll just take that just over the brows just in case. Alright, so that is the final look. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. If you want to check me out on my other social media, I am Celina Pereira on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, and Twitter. And yeah, you guys, thanks again so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you on the next one. Mwah.